Jeff Caviston with us here on the John Mendola Show. Jeff, let's talk about your experience coaching with your wife. Not an easy feat, I'm sure. You got to have a little bit of push-pull, some balance there.
Yeah.
Talk about how you feel like you're doing as a duo.
As a duo, I think we're great. We share a lot of the same ideas, obviously. We bump heads once in a while, but I mean, the only real issue that we have is like we'll have to turn it off once in a while. I have to say to her like, listen, no basketball for an hour or not something like that. But like, I work night shift a lot of times, and like I'll be texting her. She'll wake up to 10 text messages like, "Oh, what about this? What about that?" So it's a full time. It's 24 hours a day. We're thinking basketball, talking basketball, trying to get better, trying to get our girls better.
Putting in the time at practice. Let's talk a little bit about, you got to be able to collaborate with your other coach, and sometimes you're not going to see eye to eye and agree to disagree, much like relationships at work or at home. So when with your other coach, I'm sure there's some differences, but you said there's a lot of similarities. So
there's a lot. Our philosophy is the same. We know our girls really well. We've spent a lot of time with them over the last couple of years, so we know what we have, and we know, we just try to get the best out of them every day. And most of the time, if I disagree with her, I end up being wrong. She's always right usually. So when it comes to that,
I've heard of that before. How about sport-wise? How much experience outside of basketball for both of you, or were both of you just basketball?
I was always just basketball. I know she played soccer, and then that was it, right? I was always just a basketball player. I just always loved it. I played a little bit of baseball when I was younger, obviously in Little League, but basketball's always been my love.
Coach mentioned a little bit about getting everybody on the same page, playing your best game yet. That's still not there, but you're still hopeful as well. But just talk a little bit about what you've seen from the heart, whether, again, you find yourself down in the game and the girls are still scrapping along, trying to play, trying to just see if, hey, it's an 18-point lead, let's get it down to 11, let's make it single digits, let's see if we can pull this one off.
Yeah, I always think that, like she said, we still haven't hit that moment yet where we haven't had that signature win. I feel like we're winning the games that we should win, but I want to steal one from one of those top-tier teams, and I think that, like I just said, that 24-hour-a-day mentality we have going with it, and I know we have the girls to do it, so we're constantly trying to just find out what that button is to push to get over the hump and get up in that top tier where I know these girls can play. We're real young, so I mean, we have time, but we're on the clock.
With that being said, the competition in the league is stiff. So you're playing tough competition, but knowing the competitors that both of you were, you see that part of, hey, we could do this.
Yeah.
We could get it done. So you have to keep the hopes alive to keep their hopes alive.
And we're constantly throwing information at them, throwing stats at them, like, hey, you're changing. You're not playing the same game. It's got to be the same game no matter who the opponent is. And if they play that way, I'd put them against anybody. But with a young team, you got to build that confidence up almost daily and let them know that they can play with anyone. They belong in that top tier up there, and we have the talent. We really do.
How about the fun the girls are having? You find like they're enjoying the season?
The vibe at our practices and even at our games have been so nice. It's been refreshing. Like we went through a couple, 2 rough years. We've already surpassed last year's win total. The girls, I think, are having a great time. The offense that we run really suits them. We're not asking anybody to really step outside of their comfort zone very much because we're a guard-oriented team. We run a lot of outside perimeter offense, and it's been really pleasant. It's been fun. I know I'm having a blast this year.
Watching your team at the Riverside game, for example, you're down some points.
Yeah.
One of your young ladies is dancing with one of the guys in the stands. So you guys keep it light, or during later in the game, they're cheering a little bit or they're having a little bit of fun. Does that make it a little bit more fun for you two, that both you and your wife aren't too tight to make sure they're not having fun?
We have some characters. Some of our freshmen are characters. The girl you're speaking of, Michaela Arzi, she's like the class clown of the group, and we just walked out of there and everyone was kind of down, and we're always telling them, like, hey, keep your heads up, like this is how you get experiences by facing these teams. Like, that's a Final Four team in the state, in my opinion, probably, that Riverside team. And you got to keep it light, and you got to let them know, like, hey, it's not just about wins and losses, you know what I mean? We're here to have a good time too, and let your personalities show, and have some fun with it.
Jeff, pleasure to speak with you.
You too,
Appreciate catching up with you. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, man.